Welcome to tip number 4 in the mod movement. So this tip is about setting SMART goals to balance your life. You have 4 aspects or areas of your life to gain moderation and balance. And they are, the acronym I'm going to use is called SIPS, S-I-P-S. So you have the spiritual side of yourself, you have the intellectual side of yourself, you have the physical side of yourself, and then you have the social aspect of yourself. And all of those are really, really important. And where we get into an extreme with those is when we hyper focus on 1 or 2 of them at the expense of the others. And when we do that, our relationships suffer and our joy tends to diminish, and we don't find the happiness that we should be finding. So you could be doing a really good thing in one of those aspects, spiritual, intellectual, physical, or social. You could be doing really good things in those areas, but still not feel like you're okay, like you're balanced and happy and fulfilled, because you're lacking in some of those other areas. And so one of the ways that we get around that is you set SMART goals in every single one of those areas, at least one in each area. And you kind of want to have a bigger ultimate goal. So maybe your ultimate goal is, I just want to become the best version of me I can become. Everybody has their whys of what's important to them. So you should have a big overarching goal, but SMART goals are more about setting very specific. So I'll just go through the acronym. The S is specific. You need to have a very specific goal. It needs to be measurable. That's your M. It should be something that you can actually measure. So basically it can be checked off the list when it's done. And then A is the attainable. It should be something that is realistic for you at this time. So specific, measurable, attainable. And then it also needs to be relevant to your ultimate big picture, to your goals, the big thing you're trying to accomplish. So relevant. And then the T is for time bound. It needs to have a start and an end. There should be a very definite, I could check it off the list. So setting SMART goals are really, really important for keeping yourself balanced in the 4 areas, the SIPs: spiritual, intellectual, physical, and social. And when you have something going on in each of those areas, it keeps you from being able to get into an extreme with one of them, because you are balancing yourself by doing that. I've had many times in my life where I have been off in this way, where I've hyper focused, whether it was on a spiritual thing or my physical body or my intellectual side of myself. And then usually at the expense of the social, like my relationships with my family. And so it's really easy to do. And we have to kind of check in with ourselves to make sure that we're keeping that moderation. You can really hyper focus on work. And a lot of these things have a payoff. And so we do them because they have a payoff, right? And so we might go to an extreme in one of those areas because maybe it's providing more income for us, or maybe it's the physical body. And so the payoff is that we feel like we look amazing or whatever. I don't know what your payoff is for you, but it's okay to work and make money. It's okay to have a good, healthy, strong physical body. I'm a big advocate of those things, but not at the expense of the other aspects of ourselves. And so balancing that out by setting goals. One of the ways that I learned, I'll give you an example of my social. Social is, I'm a very introverted person, and it's really easy, honestly, for me to be by myself and not step out too much into the world. And one of the most interesting things I gained from the COVID 2020 experience was how much I needed people. I did not realize how much just seeing people's faces in the grocery store, or having, like, smiling at someone and having them smile back at you, or literally just having them there, like being able to go where other people were in a social, like they're just doing their thing. They don't even know you, not even necessarily having to talk to them, but just being around them and not having them scared of you, like scared to be near you, because, they might catch something from you. And so I didn't realize how much just we need social, even if it's not like this super connected experience of we're best friends and we're talking all the time, but just being able to go out in public and see people's smiles or their faces, and not having them feel like, they got to stay away from you. That was a huge eye opener for me. And it made me appreciate my community way more than I ever did before that. So that was one. Another one was physical. I've gotten off in the physical realm and just been hyper focused on that, and it like starts to consume you. When something you're doing is like it's all consuming, it's all you think about, there's a good chance you're very off balance. And so checking in and making sure that you're not even like running from problems by hyper focusing on a specific areas. A lot of times that's what we're doing is it can be what we're doing is we don't feel like we can succeed in one area. And so we'll hyper focus on another area to help ourselves feel better about ourselves. And so, but I would encourage you to set SMART goals in the 4 areas: a spiritual goal, an intellectual, a physical, and a social goal. And these are very personal. So what is going to be pushing you to advance yourself and progress is going to be different for me. And that's okay. So I'm not going to give you really a bunch of examples of that, like, because I don't want you to feel like you have to set what I've set for myself. But I will give you some resources that can help you with those goals. So first of all, if you want to know more about SMART goals, go look it up online. There's so many videos on that. It's easy to find videos on that topic. But when it comes to setting these goals in these 4 different areas, there's resources out there that can really help us. So one resource that is out there, well, there's many, but is apps. There are so many different apps. There's pretty much an app for everything you can think of when it comes to goal setting. And so if you have a physical goal or a spiritual goal or an intellectual, social goal, you can probably find an app that will help you to achieve that. If you happen to be Christian, a good app that you might appreciate is the Gospel Living app. And I think, not sure, that one you might have to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to utilize. But it's a great resource. It has goals in each of those areas. It has them broken down in the 4 areas, and you can set specific goals in those areas, and it'll give you alerts and all that, and you can check them off. And so that's a fun one. And then I'm sure that there's many other apps out there that can help you with that. Another one for the spiritual side of things is get an app for your religion. Like, I'm sure that there's stuff out there you can get. I know you can get like Bible apps. You can get I'm positive you can get apps for, like, especially if you're a Christian. I know there's plenty of apps out there for like praying and reading your scriptures and all that stuff. So that's a great app for people who are wanting more of just like the spiritual side of like being still and, being calm and stuff like that. That one also kind of ties to your emotional, social health. But meditation is a great one, and I know there's apps on that. For physical, there's probably a great many apps for like setting physical goals. One, if you happen to be focused on your physical body as far as like your diet and working out and the psychology that goes into why you eat the way you do, why you do things the way you do, I found a really great app that I actually really like. I've tried a lot of different diets, and I promise I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. But it's kind of a funny name. It's Noom. I really like it because it's more moderate than most any diet I've ever found. It's very moderate, and that's why I like it, because it's like, I don't know, just the terminology, the way they talk, it's very moderate. It doesn't really push you to an extreme, which is why I think I'm so drawn to it. And also, I really love the psychology aspect to it. It goes into the whys, and for my personality, I just really love that. And it kind of helps you, I don't know, it's been one of the most successful apps I've ever worked with when it comes to my physical health. And so I really like that. And I thought I should pass that on. So other ways that you can set your SMART goals, you can just make the good old fashioned, make yourself a chart, like write it down. And they say that things that you write, you actually remember better. So writing down is a great way. I've made many a chart and checklist to, get my goals. Make sure that they are truly time bound. So a week, a day, 3 days, maybe a month. Set a goal for a month that you're going to do it, but you want to have a start and you want to have a finish. It's really critical. And then once you achieve those goals, set new ones. That's how you keep progressing and keep growing. So that has been a massively helpful aha moment for me in my life, was recognizing the extremes of hyper focusing on one aspect of myself and having others kind of not be taken care of and feeling so off. It makes you feel off when you don't take care of the 4 aspects of yourself. So set those goals and start working towards them. And when you accomplish those goals, set new ones. That's my tip number 4, is set SMART goals in the 4 areas, SIPS, the 4 areas of you. And I promise it will help you start to balance out and be more moderate. You guys got this.